Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I am your host, Coach Danny, and today I have an amazing guest for you by the name of Michael Greenlee. Michael is going to be joining in with us all the way from Mobile, Alabama. That's right. Let's give it up for all the Mobile people. Woo! All right, so I'm not going to keep on harping off today. I'm just going to go ahead and get right into the meat and potatoes and allow Michael to share his story. So please stay tuned in to this very powerful story. Michael, are you there?
Yes,
Michael?
ma'am. Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
great. So thank you for joining in with us today, Michael. And I'm just going to allow you to get right into the meat and potatoes. So, Michael, go ahead, take it away. Tell us your story.
Well, first off, I want to say thank you, Coach Danny,
Oh,
for
thank
having me
you.
here.
God bless you, dear. It's an honor and a pleasure to have you here.
All of
Absolutely.
this is new to me, so I'm a little nervous, so bear with me, but I'm going to get through it. And you're very beautiful, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
But to start my story off, as long as I can remember, I've always been a problem child. I joined the gang when I was about 14 years old. I started smoking weed, selling drugs, hanging out with the wrong crowd. I wanted to be cool, I wanted to be tough. I ended up spending over 30 years of my life in prison. And now and now I want to help the younger generation. I got caught on so many different charges, it ain't funny. I want to tell the young people, go to school, make something of yourself, listen to your parents so you don't have to go through what I went through. I've been shot, I've been stabbed, I've been hit by a car, out there in the streets, robbing people, stealing from people. It didn't matter to me whether if it was an old lady, or old man, or if a child just got $20 for their birthday for the parents. If I seen the money, I would manipulate. I felt like it was mine. I took what I wanted. I was just such a bad guy. And I know you used to dealing with a different type of business people, whatever. But my story, yes, it's a little bit different, but I want to share it in hopes to help the younger
So
generation.
you're a walking miracle then.
Oh, yes, ma'am. I'm definitely a walking miracle. God has saved my life so many times. It's unbelievable. I'm one of those ones who definitely should be sleeping in my grave. I don't even deserve to be here. I don't even deserve to be out on the streets. That's why I asked you to set my interview up a certain way. Not that I'm trying to hide or disguise or anything, but not everybody has a forgiving heart. I have a forgiving heart. And if some people knew I was out on the streets today, ain't no telling, how things will go down. But we have to have a forgiving heart. I had to forgive my kid's mother because she stopped bringing them to see me all together when I was locked up. I mean, she just blankly stopped. She just stopped altogether bringing my children to see me. 5 years went by, 10 years went by, 15 years went by, and that hurt me to my heart because she knew exactly how much I love my children. And, the first thing that came to my mind was to have her set up. But, I had the power, I had the people to do it. I could have done some horrible things, but, I stopped and I thought wisely. What would my kids do with both of their parents being gone? I was locked up during the time, and if something happened to her and she come up missing, what would my kids do without both of their parents? Not all grandparents take their children in. Some do, some don't, some end up in foster homes or whatever. So I had to pause, think wisely, forgive her, let her go, and move forward and just take my
So
losses
Michael,
because all the hell.
Michael, I also want to ask you this.
Sure,
Now, I
ask
know
me
you
anything.
mentioned in your email you were out gang banging, you were in the streets doing your thing. But I want to ask, were these particular people after you prior to the incident, or did you just happen to be at the wrong
Oh,
place
no,
at the
no,
wrong
no,
time?
ma'am. A lot of this I brought on myself, and of course I was at the wrong place at the wrong time, breaking in houses, stealing cars, robbing banks, just trying to get money any way that I possibly could during that time. Looking out for my kid's mother. She had diamonds and fur coats. I wanted the best for her, the love that I had for her at the time. There was pretty much nothing that I wouldn't have done for her. And my kids, they had the best of the best. They had new bedroom suits, gym shoes, We was just living a life, but of course I was going about it all wrong. It doesn't pay to play. My prayers to God is what got me before you here today.
Right, right. And it doesn't pay to play. And you said the right thing. Prayer changes things. Prayer
Yes,
changes a
yes.
whole lot of things. And I always like to say, even when you're in darkness, that is the best time to pray. Pray your way out of darkness. You don't have to get all of your ducks in a row, find a perfect church home, get all your bills paid up, all these crazy things that we think we have to do in order to get ourselves on the right track.
And it's
Absolutely. I
funny
couldn't
you
agree with
said
you more,
that,
Michael.
Coach Danny, is because for a lot of years, I went through life thinking that I wasn't worthy of God's love. That's one of the reasons I kept on doing what I was doing. I knew I was a bad guy. I knew I was destined for, well, I don't want to say the word, but the lower level where the bad people go. It's only two places you can go spiritually, and that's up or down. I just felt I was destined for down. There was no light in my life. It was only darkness in my life during those days. I didn't care during that time whether there was a heaven or hell to put me in. The only thing I was thinking about was getting my money and trying to survive day to day, make sure I had all my needs met, making sure my family was taken care of. And that's just the mindset you have when you're out in the streets. You don't care about who you hurt or who you take from, or all you're thinking about is making it day to day and having all of your needs met. You have a selfish mindset. Back then, I wasn't thinking about, who I'm hurting. Oh, she's hurting. Oh, he's hurting. I was thinking about what rich houses I can break into to steal something valuable to turn around and sell it for money. What fake business I can start up, to generate some extra money. So I say all of this to help others, to let them know that God is able
And
to help them too.
you just touched someone else's life, Michael, whether they're younger, whether they're older. You
Okay,
just
good.
gave someone else hope. It doesn't matter what your past is, it's all about your future, where you're going, how to better
Sorry
yourself.
for that. My
You have
dog trying to
just
get out.
sincerely touched the life
Man,
of
oh
someone
man, I
else.
tell you.
Yeah.
Sorry for that. It seems like they wait till I get on the phone, start acting. I'm good now.
Yeah. Yeah. And then also, you mentioned in your email, Michael, I almost died 3 times. I almost died 3 times. Share that with us. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, what I meant by that was the first time I got shot near the back of my head and in between my shoulder blades, and I was rushed to Memorial Hospital. I lost so much blood, they ended up having to give me blood. I passed out during that time and I was in a coma for 7 days. The second time I got stabbed was when broke into a ski shop. I had promised a group of guys that I would get these top notch ski equipment for them. And this just wasn't your ordinary ski equipment. This was top notch. And they promised me $500. But when I broke inside, I didn't know the owner was still in there. And when I got inside, he let it rip. He let me have it. He had some type of sharp blade. I guess it was a knife, whatever. But I ended up getting stabbed around 6 times. And the third time, I was heading towards the liquor store trying to get a bunch of beer and some drinks as usual. And then here comes this lady out of nowhere. She hit me from the back, damaging my lower back, my spinal cord, my speech. I was messed up pretty bad this time around. But I really can't complain too much because God gave me a speedy recovery. I was only in the hospital for about a week. I had great nurses. I was up walking around a week later, getting my strength back, getting stronger. Of course, I was a younger man then, I could spring back and get back up on my feet. But
Good
today,
for you.
certainly, I'm
Good
an
for
older
you.
man and I can't get back on my feet that quickly. So I know it's time out for
Absolutely.
all of that
Absolutely.
nonsense.
Now, also,
Yes,
you
ma'am.
mentioned you missed out on your kids' birthdays, Christmas, holidays. What is life like now with your relationship with your children?
Oh shit, it's great. It's beautiful. Excuse my choice of language, but my kids were the first ones I went looking for. I already knew
Good for
once I
you.
got out of
Good for
prison
you.
that they would be the first thing I went looking for. After Pam cut me off, my mom stepped up to the plate and she let me know what they like, what they don't like, what they look like, how their grades are in school, their birthdays, their graduation, how much they weigh. I mean, she really stepped up to the plate. Had it not been for my mom, I probably wouldn't have any form of relationship with my children today. She was always right there and encouraged me, Michael, you did a lot of wrong, you did this, you did that, but you still have two children out there that you owe responsibility to and an apology to. Even if they don't accept you back into their life, you make sure you do the right thing by connecting with them and let them know how
That's
much you
right.
love
For
them.
forgiveness is the key. Absolutely, forgiveness, as the world say, is not for the other person; it's for us. So we don't have to
You're
carry
right.
that internally. Year after year after year, you definitely have to forgive. Absolutely.
Yes, and I'm blessed that they did forgive me, And my granddaughter Kylie, my oldest granddaughter, that's what's happening. Every time she see me, she's jumping up and down, "Granddaddy, granddaddy." She is so excited to see me. I'm excited to see her. And we are a family once again. Although I missed out on a lot of years, we've been separated, but it just feels good knowing that I'm back with my family again.
Okay, and thank you so much for that. And Michael, we are pretty much just about out of time here. Thank you so much for sharing your wonderful story. And this is why I chose your
My
story,
pleasure.
because it is a very powerful, encouraging story, and you just certainly helped the life of someone else. All right, thank you so much, Michael. We hope to have you join us
Thank you.
again at a
Anytime.
later time. All right, and also for my viewers who are watching, if you have a story that you would like to share, a small business, a product that you would like to promote, email me at coachdannyd@mail.com and I will be more than happy to promote your story. Until then, thank you for watching and have an amazing week. Bye for now.